The Avengers assemble to save the world from Tony Stark. Well, Tony Stark's Frankenstein. Today we're going to review Avengers Age of Ultron, but it's more like Days of Ultron versus Age of Ultron, because this just happened. The Avengers got finally to save the world from Ultron, who was created by Tony Stark, one of Tony Stark's own creations. Once again, he is causing an issue to the Avengers problem, and they have to do cleanup. Okay, before I go into this rabbit hole, let's go ahead and review Avengers Age of Ultron now. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Zakka. What is Movie Breakdowns? A movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade, A through F, plus and minuses do count. And if there's a movie you want me to review, let me know. I try to get to it as best I can. And put in the comment section. Also have a Patreon at Zakka. And on that Patreon, you have fresh content such as trailer reactions. I'm going to say movie reviews again. Trailer reactions, movie reviews, they do come out beforehand. And you also get first thoughts of a bunch of movies. And also, you get to say what movie I review first. So, like, you say, hey, I'm paying this. Ali, can you review this? I will literally go find it, pay for it, and go ahead and do it. So, Avengers Age of Ultron. This is the sequel to Avengers 1. And actually, you've been following this channel. I've been kind of doing them in reverse order. Like, I review Avengers Infinity War and went and watched Endgame. So the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame are both on the channel right now. And now I'm reviewing Age of Ultron before I finally get to Avengers, the first Avengers movie. So Age of Ultron came out in 2015. And this movie is it's a Marvel movie. It's a Marvel movie. It's a good Marvel movie. Like, at the time, you're like, man, this is really good. I like watching this movie. This movie is really great. But then over time, this movie doesn't age as well as the other ones. So I'm gonna do my best to keep my mindset when I first watched it and keep it from there. So I haven't watched Age of Ultron in probably 2 or 3 years, and then I finally watched it again, and I was like, what is okay? They tried. This to me is the weakest of the Avengers series. Not the MCU, not the weakest of the MCU, but the Avengers series. The Avengers series. So out of the 4 movies, the Avengers 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is the weakest. I think Infinity War is the strongest, but that's just my opinion. This is the weakest. And the reason why is because you got the generic villain who wants to destroy the world. You also have some storylines that don't really add up. And then you have a depth in this movie that don't really like pan out. Like, it doesn't really like bring you anything because you just meet this character and the character didn't really have that much of a storyline to begin with, like to really for you to get attached to him, because you didn't get to know him. You just saw, okay, this is his point of view, and that's about it. We don't get to know the character that much. You don't get attached to him. So when he dies, you're like, okay, that's not the one I thought. And when I first watched this movie, I was like, wow, how can he die? He's so fast. Which I guess I preluding, accentuating to the character that he is, which is Quicksilver. Yes. He dies. He dies in the movie. He's in the movie too, which is props to them. And I know why you have to kill them all, because you have the X-Men, Quicksilver. You don't want to mix the two together or merge them up together. You know, they are the same character. It can be a little confusing. Now I think because really Sony owns the right, so not Sony, Fox that owned X-Men at the time owned the right to Quicksilver to use that character, and not Disney MCU, so therefore they couldn't really use them as long as they was, as long of or more they wanted to, because, and this is my thought, I haven't really done research on it, but just from a fan looking at it and understanding, you know, copyright laws, stuff like that, Quicksilver being in the Fox realm, and Fox probably didn't work with Disney to use the characters, so they even changed the characters' names, or not characters, the characters who they are. Instead of being mutants, they're enhanced human beings. Wanda and Quicksilver, Wanda, who is Scarlet Witch, and Pietro, who is Quicksilver, they are considered enhanced humans. They've been tested on by, was it Hydra? Are they Hydra agents? I don't know. I feel like they are. Some bad guys at the beginning of the movie. They worked on Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch to make them have their powers versus them being born with it because they are the son and daughter of Magneto. Anyway, I'm nerding out. Let's talk about Age of Ultron. The movie starts off really great. It's a great opener. I love the action scene where everybody, it has some funny quips in there. The bad guy's like, we would not surrender. We are going to surrender. Like, I freaking love that. And dude's like telling him like, hey man, we gotta stop them. Dude's like, but they're the Avengers. Like, how do you stop the Avengers? I love that. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty funny opener. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the opener. I even enjoyed the party scene where Stan Lee is there at the party with the Avengers. They're all just hanging out and celebrating the victory. War Machine's kind of trying to crack jokes, but he can't crack jokes because the Avengers like do things that greater than what he does. So he does things like, well, I seem basic when they're like up here. He's like, I am here. So he doesn't really tag along with the Avengers. Just like Falcon, who's there, and Falcon's like, I don't need to do the world avenging stuff. That's you guys. I just work with the people on the ground, which I like. There, you have the mixture of the characters mixing together. They bring up like words. Jane from Thor, and they bring up where is Pepper Potts. They ask those questions. They kind of tie in everything. So you're just like, all right, you don't have to worry about anything. It's all done. It's all done. So there's no worry about what's going on. They kind of put it in for you. Now there is a scene though that Stan Lee's in this cameo, and like Thor's like, this is alcohol, you can't know, it's not meant for mere mortals, and Stan like gives him the alcohol. He takes it, gets knocked out, like blackout, done. When he walks away from that scene, there's two like extras standing there that don't move, and it irks me. Every time I watch this movie, it irks me. I have to rewind the scene multiple times. And I wish I could find a way to record it, or I can get the clip and put it on here, because you need to see this. The fact they don't move. They're not moving. They're not moving, and it irks me every single time. It just seemed unnatural. And don't maybe they didn't think somebody would catch that. But I caught it, and it irks my soul. Anyway, digressing. Back to the movie. Tony Stark gets hit with a vision by no other than Scarlet Witch, and he sees pretty much Infinity War. He sees that, and he's like, I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to try to create a world-saving robot, which this world-saving robot becomes Ultron. He creates Ultron. Ultron does some research and sees that the world is pretty much getting destroyed by humans, and he's like, well, I gotta pretty much destroy humans and have peace at our time so that we can have a better world. And I'm like, okay, you know, he's a little villain that's created by Iron Man. So Iron Man caused another issue, which is like a lot of MCU movies, a lot of MCU villains are pretty much spun off Iron Man. Like if you watch the Spider-Man ones and Civil War and all these other things, they're all kind of spun off by Iron Man. Iron Man caused a lot of grief for the Avengers, and that they have to clean up. And I've been mentioning that, and it's one reason why I don't like Iron Man as a character, because he causes the problems. But that's my opinion on Iron Man. That's my opinion. But anyway, so Ultron pretty much uses technology to make himself a robot, and he gets into the internet. He controls everything around the world, and he is pretty much trying to stop the Avengers. Claws in this movie, by the way, who is played by Andy Serkis, which I thought was pretty cool retcon there. And it's not retcon, it's the fact that they continue the continuity, to continue that. So Claw gets his arm cut off literally by Ultron in this movie. And he also has one of the funniest lines, by the way, about like how he's afraid of cuttlefish. And he's like, there's nothing you can do about that. Cuttlefish scared me. You can't create a giant fish. You ain't gonna do jack squat, Scarlet Witch. But anyway, his arm cut off by Ultron. And then in Black Panther, when you see him, he has that gun on his arm because his arm got cut off. I thought it was pretty cool. That was pretty cool continuity there. And they continue that in Black Panther. That was awesome. Nice shout out to them. But Also in this movie, you get the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk, which is a pretty cool scene, pretty funny as well, like where Iron Man's like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Like, those things are pretty fun action sequences, but you don't get that in a Marvel movie. That's pretty cool stuff. The final fights in the end of the movie where you have the beam that goes in the air and bring which I thought was a pretty cool technique, a pretty cool way to try to destroy the world, use the asteroid to come down on Earth. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, the Gizmo, you had to stop, and the Avengers go and fight Ultron up there on this like floating city, which I thought was pretty cool. I like that concept of it. The standout character in this movie, to me, is Hawkeye. He is the standout character. Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye, great job, phenomenal. And because he doesn't have his own movie, they kind of use the Avengers to make them, besides Avengers 1, but Avengers and Avengers 3, Avengers 4, Endgame, and this one, they really focus on Hawkeye a lot more and give him more background on him. Like, this is why we don't know much about him, because he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Once he gets done with his work, he can go back to his family and everything. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I do like how they brought Hawkeye into light. And you kind of get attached to Hawkeye. You're like, man, he's not that bad of a character. He doesn't suck as much. He's pretty cool. He's used wisely. He has a couple good speeches. He has a family. You learn more about him, get more attached to him. And they keep hinting in this movie that he's going to die. They keep doing it. And at the time, you didn't know, like, oh, they don't really kill off heroes, so he's not going to die. They kept hinting to it over and over again. Beginning the movie, how do you keep hanging on this guy? You know you're going to die. And then towards the end, he's making a speech about how you're going to die, or how he's like trying to do the things. He has arrows. He don't understand what's going on, but he's doing the best he can. He's going to avenge everybody. He's telling his family he'll come back. One last go. This is it. And it's not him that dies. Like I said, it's Quicksilver. Quicksilver gets killed. He's the one that gets taken out in the movie, which I'm not a fan of. I wish I didn't have to kill him, but that's what happens. Now, the things I didn't like in this movie, like I said, Tony Stark being the reason why the Avengers have the issues, but at the same time, it's pretty cool. I like the storyline with it, so I'm not upset at that. The Hulk and Black Widow's relationship. Apparently they were trying to ship these two characters in this movie, and for some reason, for the life of me, it doesn't make sense why they get shipped together. Like, you know, I guess they're trying to get Scarlett Johansson something to do, but Black Widow doesn't need, like, she might have romance characters in the comic books, but the comic books written over years and years and years, you gotta keep things fresh. But to have her be attracted to Bruce Banner, it just doesn't mesh with me in this movie. I don't get it. Or we're both monsters. We can't be with each other, kind of thing. Like, they were trying to force it, and then at the end of this movie, it gets dropped. You know, it don't get talked about again. It doesn't get talked about in Endgame. It doesn't get talked about in Infinity War. It just drops. Like, and also part of me kind of wonder what happened with that. Like, why did it continue it? But at the same time, I'm not mad it didn't continue it. I'm pretty okay with that, them being separate and not being a relationship. Completely fine with me. And then she's sulking at the end of the movie. Like, it wasn't Black Widow to me. That didn't seem like her kind of character. I get they want to get her something to do, make her seem a little more human, but at the same time, she's complex. And I get that, but just that little love thing didn't work for me. They could have done it something else, but they gave it a shot. It didn't work. They moved on, so they fixed that. I'm okay with that. And then Quicksilver, who is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. I wanted to know more about this character. I wanted to know more about him in the MCU. Like, I wish he stayed around. I wish I didn't get rid of him, but they had to. I get why. And when I watched it, like, how can he die? He's super fast. Like, they even had a scene where Hawkeye shoots a bullet through a glass, and the bullet comes up, and Quicksilver sees it. Like, it's moving so fast, but he can see it. And then, like, so that slow motion thing almost happened, but it didn't really slow it down. Like, it wasn't like X-Men Days of Future Past where he's running around the room and super slow. They didn't do that. He's still super fast and kind of do fast things, but I just kind of wish, like, we got more of the character. We didn't really get to see the best of Quicksilver, and he dies, and after that, they don't talk about him ever again. Wanda doesn't mention him, nothing like that. And the other thing that I want to talk about that, like, really bothered me was the tail end of the second act, right before the third act. The movie kind of takes a lull there, like when when Captain America's fighting Ultron on top of the truck and everything, he takes a load there, and Vision gets brought up. And Vision, who to me is a really cool character, he's used well in this movie. Like, he's pretty cool. Like, he is pretty much a creation by Ultron. I believe in the comic book he is created by Ultron as well. Please don't fact check me on that. Matter of fact, you can if you want to. I will look at that comment. But I believe he is created by Ultron in the comic books. In the movie, he's trying to get created by Ultron so Ultron can upload himself into this all-powerful being by using the Mind Stone, which is what Vision uses. But they don't. They actually put Jarvis. They take the body. The Avengers take the body from Ultron. And Ultron for some reason takes Scarlett Johansson, takes Black Widow. Which, okay, why? The Avengers are gonna come to him anyway, so he didn't have to. I guess he just want to make sure that they had a reason to come find him, I guess. But anyway, he has his body. He gets the Avengers take it from him, and Thor uses the Mind Stone and his power to put Jarvis in. By the way, Iron Man and Iron Man. If I say Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man and Bruce Banner put Jarvis in Vision, and that's how Vision becomes big. He's pretty much Jarvis inside this body, and he's pretty cool. It's a cool character. There's that scene in the beginning of the movie where the Avenger tries to lift Thor's hammer to see who's worthy. Vision lifts it up like easily with ease and give it to Thor. And I thought it was pretty cool. It's a funny scene. Everybody looks at it like, what the heck? Which Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch do the same thing, but they don't know the inside joke of that. But anyway, Vision is used he is used pretty dang good in this movie. Pretty dang good. But then after this movie, he doesn't get used as much anymore. He's not used in Civil War. He's not used much in Civil War. He's not used much in Infinity War. And it's like, he's such a powerful character. And I think because he's a pacifist in the comic book, I could be wrong. Sorry if I'm wrong. But he doesn't get used well enough. And it kind of irks me. It's like a WWE character who had the high point at one point, and after they just drop off and don't ever get back to the top. Kofi Kingston, hope that doesn't become you. And Zack Ryder, you're the other one I'm thinking of right now. That's a WWE reference for you fans out there. Now, actors and actresses. Everybody in this movie did great. I have no complaints with anybody's acting. They're all phenomenal. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, great. Chris Evans as Captain America, great. Hemsworth, Thor, great. Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk, great. Paul Bettany as the Vision, great. James Spader as... Sorry, not Spade. James Spader, messed up one name, as Ultron, great. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, great. Who else? Nick Fury, great. Played by Samuel L. Jackson, great. War Machines, played by Don Cheadle, great. Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie, who's in this movie but doesn't really do much. I don't have a complaint. Don't have a complaint at all. Like, who else is on this list? Claudia Kim, who plays Dr. Helen Cho. I don't care about her. She's brought into this movie. She's there at the beginning. She's there in the middle. She helps Ultron because she gets brainwashed. And then she gets hit. She'll be dead. Doesn't die. I want to remind you, Ultron shoots her. She doesn't die. Comes back in the end. But I don't care if she is. She's literally a side character that's just there. But she also helps Ultron. But I don't care when she gets killed. Like, who? Why? Why are you there?
Why? 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 Why?
I get it. She's supposed to be there to help Ultron out, but like they made it like she was somebody, but she's not really anybody. I don't know. And then when they show her at the end of the movie, like she's there, it doesn't really benefit anything. I don't know. I don't think she's in any other movie either. Which I can do a fact check. I'll probably do a fact check after this review to see. But matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Put my phone up here. Let's see what we got. Let's see if she's in any other Avengers movie. No. Is she in the comic book? Let me double check. I'm gonna double check one more thing here, guys, because hold on. There she is. There she is. She is a comic book character. She is a comic book character. Alright. Yeah, so I guess if you're a huge fan of the Avengers, you would know who that character is. If not, eh. And then Elizabeth Olsen, who's actually the younger sister of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. For some reason, I didn't know that until I saw that. I was like, oh, she does look like them. Duh. She played Scarlet Witch. I like her. Thought she was great. I didn't like the scene where Quicksilver gets killed and she goes, no, and they do the whole like slow motion explosion thing because it shows how powerful she is. But they don't really tap into that. Like, there's not a movie where she really goes all out because how powerful she is. I know she's trying to control her powers in Civil War. And Avengers Infinity War, she doesn't there's not that whole like super powerful, like, oh, she unleashed her power. She didn't really go into that yet. And she's a really powerful character too. But I didn't like the slow motion no. They didn't have to do the no, like no all slow motion like. So that to me is kind of cheesy. That's the only thing I didn't like with the movie about her, but other than that, she's great. And they already talked about Aaron Taylor Johnson, Quicksilver. I liked him as a person, I liked him as a character, and I wish I would have got more of him, but I get it. Completely get it. So, music. Music in the movie's great. Great music. CGI is great. Still holds up. Phenomenal. The Hulk versus the Hulk Buster. Phenomenal fight scene. Freaking love it. The ending, great. I enjoy it. Grading time. I'm going to grade Avengers Age of Ultron a solid B. The movie's a B. It's like I said, it's the weakest of the Avengers movies. And for the things like, you know, Scarlet Witch and the Hulk's relationship thing, the Iron Man being once again the issue to the problem. It's a B. It's a B movie. It's a B. Yeah. Like, does it super remember well the other 4 Avengers movies? Not at all. You probably like, oh yeah, that was a movie. Oh yeah, that did happen. Is things in the movie you like and will laugh at? Yes, sure. Fight scenes? Yes, sure. CGI is great. But the storyline could be better. So it's a B. It's a B movie for me. If you guys seen Avengers Age of Ultron, what do you think? Please put in the comment section below. I'm curious what your thoughts are. And thank you for watching this episode movie breakdown. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about my series. Tell a friend about Grind Towards Success. Tell a friend about the movie breakdown series. If you really like these episodes, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It means so much. I can't tell you how much it means. Like it's like I'll be really grateful you just told a friend and share and subscribe to the series. And thank you guys for watching this. Also, if you want to follow my journey outside of YouTube or Facebook, you can go to my Instagram page and you can follow me on my Instagram page at Ali_Zakka. It's right here. Put it right here in my face. That way you're like, where's his face at? Well, it's right behind the Instagram logo. Yeah, but you can follow me on my Instagram page. And also, if you want another episode of Grind Towards Success or movie breakdowns, you can watch the episode of Grind Towards Success right here. You can watch the last episode of movie breakdowns right there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome.